Well, match day 37 and 38 are in the books, and that means the Premier League season is a wrap. Manchester City officially the champions, and 3 more teams are joining them in the Champions League. Let's find out. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're listening. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from 3 friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. My man next to me in the blue shirt of Chelsea is Brad. Down below is Sean. He supports Tottenham Hotspurs. So yeah, gentlemen, what's going on? How are we doing tonight?
I'm just glad that Brad didn't make me stampede the intro again.
Yeah.
What? I know, and I didn't even get to do it this time.
Well, I'm eternally
Leave the
grateful.
intro alone.
Yeah, man, I got a flow.
It's not like I try to. It just happens. I forget about the awkward pause.
You absolutely do try to. Well, that awkward pause is intended to have some like music playing in the background, but like,
Yeah.
I haven't
We're
got
not
to,
there yet.
I haven't got to that production value level yet. Check us out. Check us out next season though. We're taking things to the next level.
Next level.
Next level.
I mean, we can only go up from where we're at right now, right?
It can't get any worse.
Yeah, basically. But so, thanks for tuning in, guys. So things we're going to talk about this week. It's actually a relatively light week because, spoiler, we're at the end of the football calendar. So there's not a whole lot domestic going on anymore because there's nothing going on after this week. But so we're going to talk about our comments from last week. We'll talk about the EPL results from this previous weekend. And then we will speak about the Champions League final and the Europa League final that are coming up this midweek and next Saturday, I believe. But before we do that, as we are accustomed to doing here, we are going to take one final look. Oh, that's the wrong scene. There we go. The one final look at the Premier League table. Of course, Manchester City on top, 86 points, win the Premier League. Second place, Manchester United. Third place, Liverpool. Who saw that coming into this weekend? Chelsea is 4th. Leicester City is 5th. West Ham is 6th. That's going to round out the top 6 and the Champions League and Europa League spots. Coming in 7th is Tottenham Hotspurs. They are going to be going to the UEFA Europa Conference League. I think we're calling that the Farmers Only Invitational.
Hey.
In 8th position is
Better
going to
trophy
be
than the Audi Cup.
that you would have to win it though.
Y'all don't win that trophy. I don't know if you should be able to support Tottenham after that.
Yeah, I haven't
I
done
have to be a Leeds fan.
Yeah, I haven't done any research as to who qualified for that competition, but from the other major
It has
leagues.
to be like
But-
Serbian 6th place or something like that. Like I can't imagine it's good team.
Well, it's gonna be like the Serbian first place team, but you got to think of like the other Big 5 leagues, like where do
Like the German
like
5th place team or
no,
6th place team.
It's probably the German 7th place team too, because I would imagine Germany gets 2 teams.
Well,
in
Germany,
the Europa League.
Bundesliga as
Yeah.
far as
So like all
leagues,
five of the major leagues get 4 Champions League, 2 Europa, and now I think it's 1 Europa Conference. So like we can talk about that in August when that competition starts. But coming in 8th, like I said a couple weeks ago, Arsenal finished 8th, right? 1 point or 2 points, 1 point behind Tottenham. Leeds in 9th. Everton fell to 10th with that 5-0 loss to City. Villa in 11th.
with their traditional fall.
Yeah. Newcastle finished 12th. Who saw that coming, Sean?
Well, clearly not me.
Wolves.
Wow.
Wolves made it up to
Also, their traditional fall.
yeah. I'm trying to make sure this is the right table.
This is.
It is.
You're reading
that's right.
it word for word for what I'm looking at.
Okay, Wolves up to 13th, 14th Palace, 15th Southampton, Brighton 16th, Burnley 17th, and of course Fulham, West Brom, and Sheffield going down to the Championship. We don't have all of the specific teams on who's coming up to the Premier League next season because the league championship playoff has to be played next weekend. But at least
We know 2 of them.
Okay, yeah. You gonna tell us?
Yeah, once I Google it.
Norwich City is one of them. I know. I don't know who the second one is.
Is it Swansea? I think it's Swansea.
Might be Swansea. I don't know.
No, Swansea's in the playoffs. It's Watford.
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 Welcome back,
Watford
Watford.
coming back up.
Boom.
And then it's Brentford versus Swansea in the final. So top 4 teams all in contention.
Interesting. I miss Watford.
I don't miss Watford. I hate their logo. It's a stupid moose. Are they even moose on the British Isles?
Yeah, yes, I believe that there are
think
moose.
there's moose over there. Comment down below if there's moose on that small little island. I doubt it.
Oh, it's a collection of islands, I believe.
Okay, well, a couple of islands, yeah. If there's a moose on any one of those islands, I want to know.
Wow.
There's at least one in the London Zoo, I'm sure.
That doesn't. Zoos don't count.
You said. Are there any?
Are there wild
moose?
Meats?
Meese is the plural, right, of moose?
No, it is not. It's moose. Moose.
It's like fish?
Yes, moose does not do anything like plural.
Did you know that you can have the fishes is actually appropriate in certain circumstances?
It shouldn't be, because that's not what it is.
No, Brad, before you cut me off, because it's not football related.
Unless it's a fish's home.
No, fishes, like, it refers to multiple types of fish. So if you have like goldfish and like bass, if you're talking about them together, you would be referring to fishes.
Guys, if you guys want educational content, you have Brad School of Pronunciation. We have Sean Math and Geography.
Yep, that's right.
And we have James and the English language with random words.
How much do you guys want to bet that I am 100% wrong and there are moose all over the place?
Yeah, there probably is.
In England and Scotland.
I'm pretty sure you're wrong.
They're probably roaming free, just slamming people with their
horns. Bring us back to football. We had this conversation last time and about when did the bottom three settle into the bottom three? Mm-hmm. Does anybody have any guesses?
Week 3. I don't know. I mean, Sheffield never got out.
Sean?
He's Googling it real quick.
Don't Google it. Give me a guess. I already Googled it. I'm the trivia master.
We've got our. I'm looking at the EFL Championship. It is set, by the way.
Yeah, with Brentford.
It's Swansea and Brentford.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. I would say about week 7.
Okay, but you guys caught it a little early. It was week 12.
Oh.
Week 11 had Burnley in the bottom 3.
Okay.
And they passed Fulham, and then it's been those 3 ever since.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
All right. Well, I think we had some comments this week.
We did. So our regular 2 respondents, we had Jimmy and Will, of course.
Love it.
I'm going to talk about Will first because his are a bit shorter. He just basically was talking about our conversation we had last week about academy graduates. He thought that was an interesting conversation. Maybe wants us to expand on it. So we were talking about like who had more academy graduates, like who had produced more, or whether or not our teams were actually utilizing academy graduates, and who tended to, I guess, historically use academy graduates the most. And I think my point was that Arsenal has had traditionally a very productive academy, whereas I don't think Chelsea and or Tottenham have a very productive academy. Historically is what I'm speaking about. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, Brad, your example of academy graduates is Roman Abramovich buying up every 18-year-old that's alive, or every 16-year-old that's alive on the planet that kicks a football, and then loaning them out to all the other teams in the world and saying, this is my academy. I'm talking about actually in the Chelsea complex, playing football with the Chelsea kit on in the U23 setup, U18s, U23s. That's what we're talking about academy. We're not talking about the Abramovich loan army.
I hear that part, and I think we have to figure out what age counts, right?
Yeah,
towards this
for sure.
But Mason Mount, Declan Rice, Tammy Abraham, Reece James, Nathan Ake, Hudson-Odoi, Christensen, all came up through the academy.
So you're looking specifically at
But did they?
Yes. There's pictures of Mason Mount, Declan Rice, and Reece James in U11s.
All right. So you just named 3. So here is my counter to Will. Is what I don't feel like is I do not feel like Harry Kane is a true Tottenham academy.
I think he agrees with you.
When we bought him when he was 17.
I think.
So does that technically count? Yes.
I think
he played on the U18.
I think he agrees with you about does buying a 16-year-old really count? Like
Yeah.
I know that certain sites will argue that yes, they graduated from the academy, so yes, they count. But I tend to kind of agree with that sentiment that like it seems that they need to be like like maybe like 14 or younger or something like that. Like
Yeah, like actually go through the academy.
yeah.
Because I think we were in pre-production. I don't know if you guys care, but we do a little pre-production meeting before the show. But we were talking about. I was almost certain that Harry Kane was actually more. He spent more time in the Arsenal academy than he did the Tottenham academy. Because he came in when he was younger, and then you guys dropped him when he was like 13 or 14 or something like that. So he probably spent more time there than he did at the Tottenham academy. Is that right? Am I misremembering that?
I think that's true. I don't know specifically when Arsenal signed him, how young he was when he got his first contract with the Arsenal academy. So I don't know specifically when Arsenal signed him, but Harry Kane was a youngster in the Arsenal academy, and he was released at a certain point. I think because he was
he likes cheeseburger.
I think the talk was that he was a little fat. Was my
He put
understanding.
a little too many beans on his toast.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably.
Yeah.
But Brad, so you were looking at the transfer market site, right? And you were listing it by market value.
Yes.
And so that was giving you like current players and things like that.
Correct. So
like give me like most appearance, like league appearances. Just filter by league appearances and like then give me that list, because I think that that's a more interesting conversation. Like a holistic conversation about like the Chelsea academy as a whole.
Right. I mean, I think our academy is much younger, right? Like, I think that's been the joke with Chelsea since before Roman.
You guys weren't.
We ain't got no history.
You guys weren't a club before 2000.
Right. So, like,
You didn't
league
exist.
appearances, I don't think make sense in the idea of our academy, because most of the we didn't really have an academy then, so we figured out the loan army thing.
All right. Well, since you're refusing to do it, I'm going to do it.
But I did. And John Terry's, of course, first. But then you don't get credit for Gnabry, because Gnabry only had 11 appearances in the Premier League from how I'm working on this one.
I'm just talking about I'm talking so I look at the Arsenal academy and I've sorted by league appearance. I have Andy Cole at the top. He played for a plethora of English teams, lots of high quality English teams.
He's a very high level player.
Yeah, Ray Parler, also high level player. Kevin Campbell, high level player. Martin Keown, high level player. Sebastian Larson, high level player. Paul Merson, high level player. Tony Adams, high level player. I don't know Nail Quinn. I'll fully admit that. Not familiar.
Probably Niall.
Niall. What did I say? Nail. Yeah. So see, but I can go down this list and these are all names that I recognize, and then we get to someone like Hector Bellerin, who's on this list, not very far down this list. Jack Wilshere, Kieran Gibbs.
Hector Bellerin is one I would give you. That's a really good. That's a high level player. As much as I don't like him, and he's probably aging, and you're probably not too high on him right now. He's been a really good player for Arsenal for a long time.
Hector Bellerin was a phenomenal player until his knee exploded.
Absolutely.
His knee exploded,
Absolutely.
and he hasn't been the same player since. He's a phenomenal human being. I love Hector Bellerin. I don't want to see Hector Bellerin leave because I love Hector Bellerin. But I don't think you can make the argument that he is at the levels.
Spanish. He's Spanish.
Yes, he's Spanish.
That would be a good one, like we did Eriksen, did a solid to Eriksen or did a solid to Vertonghen because he wanted to retire in Portugal. That'd be a good one, when Hector's ready to go, send him home to Valencia or Atletico or something, and just let him, if that's where he wants to go, let him go play out the last couple years of his career.
Dude is young as hell.
What? No way! He's been at Arsenal for 23 years. What do you mean?
He's only 95.
No
bro.
way! What?
He was born in 95.
No way!
He's 26 years old, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
What do you think Harry Kane?
How long? When did he start for Arsenal? He had to be 15 then.
We signed him, I think, from Barcelona at 15 or 16.
Oh my god!
But then
Get him out of here! I'm tired of looking at him.
Very quickly, he broke into the first team.
I'm over him already. Never mind. I don't want to give any more compliments to this man. I'm tired of him. And he's not even old. I thought he was 32 or something.
No, No,
go away.
He's still like if his knee didn't get destroyed, like
well, then
I think he'd probably be the best right back.
back.
I think he could have been the best right back in the world, and maybe that's a bold statement, but like he was
maybe not the world. But yeah.
He was incredibly fast. He was his ability to defend was incredibly good.
Yep. Yep.
And I think he's just not quite the same. But like
as a rival, he was obnoxious. But like, and that's a compliment. He's annoying.
I look at this, and so I've also sorted by market value, Brad. And if I look at this list, like this Arsenal list of like current players it's pretty legit. It's a pretty legit. Yeah. Like Serge Gnabry only has 11 league appearances, but I mean, how many Champions Leagues does he have?
He's a beast, right? But it's only limiting to Premier League.
I understand that, but like
that's why I'm with you.
Like Serge Gnabry is a important player for Bayern Munich.
One of the best teams in the world.
Saka, important player for Arsenal. Szczesny, important player for Juventus, though apparently he might be leaving this summer. Alex Iwobi. We swindled Everton there. We swindled Everton there. Eze, important player for Palace. Right. So we have a lot of current players that are playing high level football in playing important roles in teams.
I'm with you. I wasn't saying that wasn't true, but I was making more of the argument that like Chelsea's academy fruitions are now showing. Cobham is now becoming a big academy because we're producing these types of players.
I think my grander point was that no.
Just no. Just no.
No, you don't, Brad.
What do you mean? All right, so we can do the same thing.
Your team is littered with people you just bought because they were good and young.
But that's another interesting conversation. That's like a next level conversation. It's like how many of these players that we just list are actually integrated into your squad? How many of them had a shot to play at your club? So if you look at someone like Serge Gnabry, like he was an important player for Wenger for like a season and a half there, and then he went out on loan.
Yeah. And then never came back.
Well, there is some duplicitous situation going on there with what happened with Gnabry.
Aaron Lennon. No, not Aaron Lennon. With Theo Walcott. They're both small and really fast. I always confuse those two. But Theo Walcott came up with you guys, right?
No, he was a Southampton product, and we bought at 16, I think.
I just always associate. Okay, so really kind of young, but not young enough, I guess. But I always associate him with coming up with. I remember him being really young with Arsenal and really good.
Oh yeah, we did buy him young, and he did come into the team very quickly.
Yeah.
But so I think that's a next level conversation. We'd say who actually has a chance in the first team, because if you look at his at least over the last 20 years with Chelsea, I don't think your academy products have had a lot of opportunity to have opportunities at the club.
Before last season, the last academy player to come through was John Terry.
Yeah, so that's pretty damning.
Whereas that is fact. He came up in 98, Fred.
But these past 2 years has been an explosion of Chelsea talent.
But you guys also had a transfer ban, so you were forced into this.
You had to, yes, you had to.
So this might be more damning because you guys had a transfer ban. You had players that were produced that came through the academy, and they showed that they could produce, and they played, and now they're important players to your team. How many of those players slipped through the cracks? And there's in the last 15 years.
Yeah, how many players did we point out that you could have had? Imagine. We were talking about it last week. Imagine Mo Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, and Pulisic right now. What's that? That's 27, 26, 22 across the top. Imagine that.
And you forgot Lukaku, who we bought twice.
And Lukaku, you could have had a 4-1. Was it a 4-2-3-1?
Sean's out there putting 12 players on the pitch.
Yeah. Is that too many?
No, I don't. Yeah. I didn't do the math. I'm just making a joke. Hey, hold on. I want to slow us down real quick because I think this is a conversation that we'll get into over the summer.
I'm just distracting because our Academy is not that good.
Yeah,
That's terrible.
That's why we didn't talk to you, Sean.
Yeah, that's why you weren't a part of this discussion.
So let's go to Jimmy, one of our other respondents. He had a lot of comments. He disagreed with you, Sean, about baseball prep. He disagreed with you, Brad, about the handball in the FA Cup final. He agreed that it was not a handball.
He's a liar. Sorry.
That was really aggressive.
Wasn't it?
To one of our most loyal listeners.
I know.
Yeah, why are you doing that?
Brad, I need you to apologize.
Can you please apologize to Jimmy?
No.
Wow.
Please.
And he agrees with both you and Sean.
Brad, sorry.
But Jimmy agrees with Brad and Sean that most of the tactical work from like a football perspective is already done at this point in the season at like match day 36. This was in relation to our conversation about United's fixture congestion. I was arguing that they played twice within 48 hours, and so they didn't get to train. They didn't get to have like tactical conversations, things like that. And that like all they could really do is like talk high level specifics and things like that.
What I like arguing. So what did he? Let me make sure. What did he disagree with?
So with you is about baseball prep, because you were saying that I think that you were making the argument that baseball is highly tactical and that there's a lot that goes into like tactical preparation for a baseball game. But I think that's specifically only between a pitcher and a batter. When we were having this conversation last week, I was saying that like this, you put the same switch on for Mike Trout every single time he comes to the bat, things like that. And so that's why I was making an argument that in baseball it's not super tactical. All right, come on in.
No, it is not. Baseball is a lot more tactical than that. And if you think just only the pitcher and catcher do tactics for who's hitting, then you haven't played high level baseball.
I haven't,
because as a center fielder, I knew what hitters did.
Okay.
Whether they tend to pull this way, that way, whatever.
But
what pitches they don't like to hit. It's the same thing. I would go through the same prep as not necessarily the same prep as the pitcher, but I would know what they tend to do, and I would shade that way.
I think you're making my argument for me, though.
That's James's whole point, is that like if you know the batter hits the ball to center left, you're going to fade to the left every time he comes up.
Set it and forget it. Like once you know what Mike Trout's going to do, and this is with the especially with the explosion of analytics in baseball.
I see what you're saying.
With the explosion of analytics in baseball, like we see all of these absurd shifts in baseball, like every time. So like, and it's because they have the data that proves that like 97% of the time this dude's going to hit the ball over here.
I think we're arguing the same point, but in a different way. So I think I'm arguing there is the same level of tactics. Or there's a high level of tactics in baseball. You're just arguing that it's preset, and it's not necessarily preset. It could change.
Yeah,
but it's not
certain
like
conditions affect.
It's not like a football game where you put in like half a new playbook for a new team because they play different.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. So I think we're just arguing the same point from two different angles.
Yeah. So, his final comment was that Jameses are superior human beings. # no dictionary.
Again, he's wrong.
Whoa.
Just saying.
Again, he's wrong.
No one had to Google portend over here. I'm just saying.
I was going to say I'm not even going to pretend. That was
pretend to
pretty
believe that. Yeah,
that was
the disrespect is real.
I like that. All right, let's talk about some football. There were 10.
Let's do it.
So, I guess since we last
Sunday was fun.
Can
we all agree that's the funnest day of the year when they're all playing at the same time?
Hate it.
What? I love it.
I like it.
Dude, did you guys go out to the pub for it?
No,
that's the best part.
I was at church.
Well, working's different. Oh, and okay. Well, those are two very legitimate excuses. But
if I was
like
home,
being at the pub and like all the TVs are on and all the games are everywhere and they're like on USA, CSNBC, like they're on.
That's true. That's true of years past. But this year there were only
was this year, yes.
No, this year there was like 4 games. There was like 4 or 5 games on terrestrial, and everything else was on Peacock.
But they
there was 5 games on at the bar, unless it was 5 and 5.
Yeah,
it's 5 and 5.
Okay, all right.
It was the 5.
Well, they put the 5 good ones on, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they put the top 5 games
it
on.
was City Everton on, Wolves United was on, Liverpool was on, Chelsea was on, Leicester was on. All right, so that's all that matters. And Arsenal was on. No, Arsenal was not on.
Because Arsenal's on Peacock.
Oh,
I didn't highlight that time. I just want to point that out. I wasn't highlighting.
Oh, I'm highlighting.
Yeah, I could tell. I'm just over here. I'm washing my hands of it.
I just know how to take the highlight off, Brad. See, highlight and then off.
But
anyways,
so I mean, okay, yeah, I agree with you that like it's fun from a drama aspect. It's the only way to do it. But the reason why it's like, I guess there was something going on in terms of like fluidity of positions, especially.
Really? I mean, was it?
Well, from 3
4 and 5.
Well, from 3 to 8, there was a lot of fluidity. Like there was a lot of movement, especially. I mean, like if you look, there was a thing on Reddit that I saw on soccer that was showing league positions based on certain results, and there was a lot of movement just based on results. Because like while Spurs were losing and Arsenal were winning, they were in 7th, and while the games had just started, Chelsea were in 3rd, and then they moved down to 5th, and then they moved to 4th, and so like certain teams had their band, so they couldn't go any higher or any lower than where they finished. So like Chelsea had their band, Liverpool had their band, Leicester had their band, but like there was just a lot of movement within those different bands of positions. But so I prefer like go like I've been to some pubs for like cup finals or like cup semifinals. That's where it's at. I was at Lucky in DC. I'm pretty sure that's the Arsenal pub in DC for the 2014 FA Cup semifinal with my brother Will and my good friend Sean. Brad and I know Sean.
Yes.
Different Sean. Not Sean below us. And we were that was an experience. That's
what I heard.
It's so fun.
Well, we don't need to talk about the specifics of the experience, but I think that was a match went to extra time, if I'm not mistaken.
I wasn't able to be there that time. I just remember a staircase was involved.
Yeah.
Let's why don't we dive into the game?
Yeah, for sure. So,
yes.
City beat Everton 5-0, which really put the nail in Everton's coffin.
It was boring.
I think Everton lost midweek during match week 37. Someone fact check me on that on the Tuesday and Wednesday games.
Nope, they won.
No, they won. Okay, so they were still in contention for what?
They won 1-0.
Who'd they beat?
It's Wolves.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I remember this now because I think they scored late. No, they scored it like.
They scored early.
Yeah, it was like the 47th minute or something like that. Anyway, so they were still in contention for things, but like this loss saw them out of it. United beat Wolves, kind of unimpressive. Liverpool beat Palace, kind of unimpressive. Villa.
Is there anything we want to talk about from those first 3?
Not really. I mean,
the only thing I wanted to sprinkle in there is that I was watching my game, which we'll talk about in a minute, over here, and then turned over to look at the Everton game. 15 minutes in, and it's already 2-0, and I was like, "Well, that's over."
And then Aguero came on and scored 2 goals.
I mean, what are you expecting? Like, did we expect Everton to beat City?
Everton are good. Like, I expected that to be a game.
Everton are. This is my theory on, and I think everyone kind of holds this, is like your league position is a true reflection of your season. And Everton being 10th is exactly where I think Everton belongs.
Wow.
Okay, so you guys both think they should be higher.
I don't think European football is out of the question for a team like Everton. I think it's tough to get top 6, but I think like top 8 is where they probably deserve to finish this year.
I agree with you. That a club like Everton's aspiration is the Europa League. and the Champions League if they can get it. I agree with you. I believe that's their aspiration. But when I look at Everton as a team, and especially this season, this iteration of Everton, they were incredibly up and down. They'd have great games, then they'd have just howlers. They didn't have consistent goalkeeping. They didn't have consistent attacking. They didn't have consistent defending. So like they were all over the place. And like that's coming from like the Arsenal fan who had a 10-game run in the middle of the season where we collected 4 points from 10 games. Though interestingly enough, over the last 23 matches, Arsenal were third in points collected.
And then the other note I wanted to get to before we moved on off of the City game was that those 2 goals.
Which 2 goals?
Were Aguero's 2 goals.
Thank you.
Were enough to put him ahead of Wayne Rooney in Premier League all-time goals.
But it's also all-time with like a single team, right?
Yeah.
Yes, with a single team. Yes.
Which they would both would because.
Rooney was with Everton for like 2 seasons or something like that.
Well, he started with Everton as a youngster, then went to United, and then went back to Everton.
Yeah.
So.
And then Henry's not far behind. So it was 184, 183. So it literally those 2 goals put him above Rooney.
Yeah.
And then Henry's 175.
Yeah. So like this, there was, I saw a comment from, I forget who the commentator was, but it said that Aguero was the best foreign Premier League striker of all time.
Oh.
We might have to have that conversation because.
Oh, I would love that one.
I'm gonna disagree.
Is that because is that not Thierry Henry?
I mean, I'm just saying.
Is that an argument?
I think
as much as I don't want to say that, is that not Thierry Henry?
I think so.
I think those are, but I think it's like it might be rose-colored glasses because it's Aguero's last season,
possibly,
and like it's been a while since Henry's been
sure, but like even
also like.
And then it was a little bit shorter, so probably in the discussion, but probably not in the top 2. And another one I don't want to say.
Go
Van
ahead.
Persie?
No.
Like, no? What? He's a great foreign striker.
Van Persie was...
Didier,
oh, you thought I was going to say Giroud.
No, I thought you were going to say Didier.
Giroud's not a bad one either. He's been in the Premier League all of his career, and he's a great striker.
But he's never been a consistent starter. I think
Drogba's a good
You could
a
put
good
Drogba
one.
in that range.
We could have an interesting conversation about this.
We could have a really good one about that one.
I think we table this for the summer, though.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other points you want to make about those first 3 games, Sean?
Liverpool suck. All right.
All right. So, Brad, talk to me about this Villa result.
Like, my MVP is probably
Gareth Bale.
Kind of a hot take. My MVP of the season for like the whole of the Premier League has to be Jack Grealish. Villa's a different team with him on the field, like completely different team, and they probably would have ended up
MVP of the season, Brad.
Yeah, Grealish, because of the impact that he has on his team. But I see your guys' face because like when they were out,
I'm just thinking. Yeah.
Before that, they were definitely within European contention with him on the field.
Well,
they were one injury away from not being there, and he's back for the last 2 games, and they win.
This is a thing that we've talked about on this podcast before,
right?
And it was one thing that Tamzid used to say is that Villa were one Jack Grealish injury away from being relegated.
Yeah.
So I think
said that a lot.
I think that's a legitimate argument to make that Jack Grealish was the most important player to Villa
to a team,
and maybe the most important player to a team. That's an interesting conversation.
And again, like we dominated the game, but couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. We dominated the game in every aspect, but goals.
If that's the argument, though, then how? If your argument is that because he was out and they stunk, and then when he came back, he's better. They're a better team. Then that makes Virgil van Dijk the MVP.
Correct, he was.
Like if that's your argument,
was he not last
year? If it's not the best player, then it's Virgil van Dijk.
Was he not
because
last year?
he went out and Liverpool's season fell apart.
This is where I think it's an interesting conversation because we tend to, at least in American sports, look at the most valuable player as like the person who did the most, who got the most stats.
The best team. Whoever's the best player on the best team.
Yeah, if we're going that on it, if we're going
Steve,
the American view, it has to be Harry Kane, right? He got the most assists and the most goals.
I disagree with you, Brad, because Steve Nash won MVPs over Kobe Bryant certain seasons.
And that was wrong.
We had no right to.
Correct.
No, that was absolutely wrong.
But I'm saying like this statistical anomalies, like Russell Westbrook on the Thunder averaging a triple double, getting MVP, right? Yeah. Like when that happens, then yes, it doesn't matter your league position. But typically, league position
does factor. I agree.
Yes, because like Damian Lillard should have won MVP last year, but didn't because they were the 8th seed.
Yeah, there is like a team strength bias for most valuable player things in American sports. But your argument, Sean, is if we take the American route, it has to be Harry Kane because he won the Golden Boot
and the assist league
and the most assists. Yeah, I mean, like that's a legitimate. I think that's a.
Do I think he's the most valuable player in the Premier League? No.
We'll find out when the PFA has their.
They did, I think. I think it was Diaz.
Did the PFA choose Diaz?
Ruben Diaz?
So.
What?
Did they already do the PFA awards? I don't think that they did them yet. Maybe you're wrong. Maybe you know, and I don't know.
No way. I'm not happy with that one either.
Maybe.
I mean, he's good. Like, I'm not gonna make this a poop on Diaz podcast. But no way.
From the Writers Association, from the FWA.
Okay.
He won the FWA's.
All right.
And homie deserves it. Like
he had a great year. I'm not that's why I want to make that clear. I'm not pooping on Ruben Diaz. He's a great player, and that was a great signing. It only took him $780 million center backs to get one right.
Yeah, defenders in general.
Yes. Okay. So they haven't announced it yet for this season. I think.
Speaking of swindled, how much money did City buy Kyle Walker for?
Oh yeah, well.
He's still a good player.
It's another ex-Tottenham player who's won a trophy. So.
All right, now
2 this year, actually.
That's enough of that.
All right, so hold on, Brad, chill, chill, Brad. Leicester let everyone down.
Yes. No, they didn't.
Leicester
did what they thought they were going to do.
Whoa.
Leicester
they did not let everybody down. They were dominated.
Leicester let everyone down.
They were dominated. That was the first game since Ryan Mason took over that I thought, wow, it looks like we have a plan.
Is that do you just give him the contract, let him sign the contract? Yeah. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, like the last game of the season, they dominated. That means that they're going to come into next season dominating.
If you put Nuno or Ryan Mason in front of me, I'm still taking Nuno. I'm still taking the proven.
Nuno's not even.
He's meeting with us Monday. What do you mean?
I heard he was not even under consideration. But Fabrizio.
Well, of course they're going to say that. But the guy that you got the information from on Twitter, I also really trust. Said they are meeting on Monday, and I trust that guy.
I think
he's been right more times than he's not.
Roberto Martinez is.
I don't want that.
Why?
I do not want that guy.
Why?
Nope.
Why?
I don't like him.
Why?
I didn't want Jose Mourinho either.
Okay, but I'm asking, what do you not like about Martinez?
First of all, why would he want to?
Because he's tired of doing international football. So he was very successful very successful at Everton. Maybe is not necessarily the best. He was successful enough with Everton, and he's been successful enough with Belgium. Like, why not?
He's not a terrible manager.
He's a good manager.
He's a good manager.
I think Tottenham's bigger issue over the summer is y'all about to get cleaned out, and like who are you still gonna have next season? Coming out.
That's definitely.
I think Tottenham's now in the place that both Chelsea and
Arsenal are gone. Lamela, Lloris.
This is who you want gone.
No, this is not who I want gone. This is who's probably gone.
Okay.
All right, so this is Lloris, Lamela, probably Harry Kane, Dyer. Go ahead, Brad.
Move closer to the mic is all I was trying to tell you.
Oh,
You're sounding
I was trying
away.
to put my hand in the way.
Yeah.
Let's see. Toby's probably gone.
Son.
No,
Son's not
Son's
leaving.
not leaving.
No, Son's not going anywhere. Lucas,
Dele.
Sissoko, Dele.
You just literally named your entire first team.
Except for Son. So,
Exactly.
so I think
pretty much.
Tottenham
Yeah.
Tottenham is at
Serge,
the point
Serge is gone. He's going back to PSG.
I think Tottenham is at the point where Chelsea was last year. It's not a transfer ban, but who wants the Tottenham job? Right? Nobody wanted the Chelsea job with an embargo and all of the expectations that come with the Chelsea job. Right? Like Chelsea gets trophies. That's the expectations from the jump. So that's how and why it was offered to Frank, right? Because there wasn't a better candidate that wanted it. So who wants the Tottenham job is, I think, going to be the question. So it might end up being Ryan Mason. I don't think so. I think they can find somebody, but
I'll tell you what I'd be really happy with is Ryan Mason did a good job, like kind of just holding
The ship together.
Yeah,
holding the ship together through the last part of the season, and just like what's the big steering wheel called on the ship?
just I don't know.
Do I look like
Steering-
do I
Ship
look like a
steering wheel.
boater?
He was holding the ship steering wheel, whatever it's called.
Somebody tell us in the comments what's the ship steering wheel called?
He did a good job of like holding that just steady. But like, I tell you what, I would really want to see is like a good manager like the guy at Ajax, Ten
Hag.
Hag.
Who just
I would
signed a
like-
new contract.
Well, yeah, I would like him. I don't want Scott Parker. I don't want Graham Potter. I think
Why
that's
not?
we've talked about that. It's embarrassing to Tottenham.
I don't think Brighton. I don't think.
Bro,
Graham
I think
Potter is a-
I think
think
you
he's
are
better.
getting embarrassing to Tottenham. I think that you are getting a little big for your britches there, bro.
yeah.
It's
Embarrassing to
embarrassing.
Tottenham. What's embarrassing to Tottenham?
I'm
Potter
sorry, I
is
can't-
embarrassing to Tottenham.
I can't hear you from how far down the EPL table you are. I can't hear you.
Yes, Tottenham finished above Arsenal this year.
Again.
It's embarrassing.
Again, yeah, finishing below Tottenham is embarrassing. I agree with that.
Well, both of them are embarrassing. We shouldn't be finishing this low, and we should not be scraping the bottom of the Premier League for managers.
I think.
You wouldn't take Hasenhüttl?
I think.
No, I would not take Hasenhüttl.
Bro, I think. Who do you want? Do you want Zidane? Like,
Zidane might be leaving. Yeah,
like, come on,
he
like,
comes to
maybe.
Tottenham.
do you want Pep? Like, do you want Klopp? Like, you're acting like Tottenham are.
A trophy magnet.
Like, come on, man. Like, we're talking about Tottenham Hotspurs.
Does that hurt?
I want a proven, established.
Okay,
manager.
but here's the thing: like you're saying, there's going to be no team. Like the top 10 players are gone or sold, except for 9. Sorry, because we had Højbjerg. And Son.
Højbjerg's not going anywhere.
This is an even better.
He likes it.
I heard
He
he's
likes
on
it
the
there.
market.
He likes it there.
This is an even better. This is an even better point that Brad's trying to make. Is like, what top level manager is going to come to a club that's in the Europa Conference League that just lost all of their best players, and like there's an insurrection going on around the club? Like, who's coming to this situation?
right, well then-
Allegri already turned you guys down. Like flat out
Everyone turned it down.
didn't even meet with Tottenham. Like, it's like, come on, like we're talking about like
Maybe the best solution is to just keep Ryan Mason for next year, and then
no, don't turn your nose up at someone like Roberto Martinez. Don't turn your nose up at someone like Hasenhüttl. Don't turn your nose up at something like Graham Potter. Like, come on, like these aren't scrubs. Like,
And Scott Parker plays pretty good football too. Like either one of those managers, I don't see why you would be upset with.
I actually, if it was going to be one of those three, I would take Scott Parker over any of those three.
that's
Hasenhüttl, I think is the best of those 3. But this is really funny.
I'm taking
Sean,
Martinez.
You undervalue. Well, sorry.
We like 3 different
Martinez.
ones. That's funny.
My bad. We had like 4 people there. So like I didn't know Martinez because I think I would go with Martinez too. But
okay.
Sean, this is really funny from you in that you undervalue almost every single player on the Tottenham squad on what their value would be on the market. But you're overvaluing Tottenham as the club that it's like a high destination for a manager to come.
Yeah.
Like
Why is it not? Why is it not?
Okay, that's not. No. Don't ask
players
us.
aren't worth it. Right?
Why is it not?
The players are undervalued, and the players are leaving, and you can't win a trophy.
It's a top 15 club in the world.
Okay.
Tell us, but hold on. Tell us why it is. So your first argument is top 15 club in the world. What else? What do you mean? You just mean value?
Value, prestige.
Prestige. Okay.
Stadium.
How do you define prestige?
The Tottenham logo is known in every continent except Antarctica because penguins can't read.
Bro.
Okay, so marketing.
Okay, so you guys have good marketing. That's true of all of the English teams.
Yeah.
Not really.
Bro.
I'm not going to Zimbabwe and finding Fulham jerseys.
You might. You'd be surprised.
But I might find some Tottenham jerseys.
Okay. But here's my point. You say prestige. Like, when was the last time you guys won a real trophy?
It's been well documented on this podcast. 2008.
Okay.
Yes.
But okay.
13 years and 7 days.
We were just in a Champions League final.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what you're talking about.
And then you didn't support the manager, and then you fired him 6 months later after he wasn't producing. Like who like Daniel Levy doesn't spend money. The club
we've been net spend heroes for the past 6 years.
The board doesn't spend money. Your top players might be leaving. You don't win trophies. Like, yes, you're in the Premier League, but like you have a great stadium. I agree with you. Like, the stadium is a very, very nice toilet bowl. Looks like it's very comfortable and contours to the bottom very nicely.
You're literally describing Liverpool up until 2 years ago.
No.
Why? Why?
Liverpool.
Because Liverpool is the big.
Trophies.
Liverpool is the biggest football club in England.
Before 2 years ago, had they won before 2005?
Yes.
Or like in between? What did they win?
They won the Champions League when we were in college.
In 2005, yes. They won in 2005. That's what I'm saying. Before 2 years ago when they won the league.
When James, Tammy, and I were in college, they won trophies. They've won trophies since then, too. Yes.
Liverpool Football Club was...
Before Brendan Rodgers, they were winning trophies.
Yeah, bro. I'm sorry. This is an incredible L on your part. Liverpool Football Club is the largest.
It's basically Liverpool before Klopp got there.
No. You're crazy. No. Oh my gosh. Can we phone a friend? James, can you get Tamzee on the phone?
Could you guys imagine if Tamzee was on this podcast right now?
He would have left. He would have logged out.
You're disconnected. I can't come back, guys.
He would have rage quit.
He's probably going to listen to this and be like, "This is why I don't hang out with you guys."
I think all three of us have said like we're not fans of Liverpool at all. But Sean,
I don't dislike.
I got no growth.
I'm not a big Liverpool fan, but I think that's because me and Tammy's rivalry, which is fine. Personal rivalry, it's fine. But
I just think you guys are
crazy.
Jokes aside, I've been making some jokes here. Jokes aside, how is Spurs not a good coaching or managing job?
Your best player.
You're using your best player and 8 others.
You guys are acting like it's Aston Villa. It's not.
It might be. But it might as well be.
It's not. It's still one of the 15 best clubs in the world.
One of the 15 wealthiest clubs is what you mean?
No, most prestigious, like well known. No. It is a good club to be at.
Hey, well known.
It's like coaching.
Because like a well-known club is like
so for our American viewers, Brad, would you turn down a coaching job to coach football at USC because they sucked for the last couple of years and they don't have good players? No, you'd take it.
Okay,
USC.
But here, let me.
We are USC.
Hold on,
Oregon.
We're just not good right now.
You're Oregon.
You can't win.
I'm not Oregon, and I'd take Oregon's job too.
You get a flashy team.
Hold on. Hold on. Sean. Top level managers.
It's USC football.
Top level managers care about one thing and one thing only: winning trophies. That's all they care about. They don't care about what team they're winning them at. They don't care how they get to them. They care about winning trophies. And so the things that they're going to analyze when they're looking at potential job openings are who the players are now, who I have the potential to recruit, and like, does the team have the infrastructure to win? Tottenham has the infrastructure to win. They have high quality training ground. They have high quality stadium. I think that's all you got, because the board has notoriously not spent money, and the players. Do you think that the players that you have on your team right now are good enough to challenge in the Champions League, to challenge in the Premier League?
Could we?
If you kept everyone that's on your squad right now,
we would need to add.
Mm-hmm.
But that's every team. We're getting older. But yes, I believe the squad currently constructed is a second or third place team. I don't think we're winning the Premier League, and I think it's a top 8 Champions League team.
Okay, so why didn't you do that this year?
Because I think they hated Jose. In his playing style. I said it when he got hired. I don't think that was a good hire. That is not the way they play, okay. And we sold Vertonghen.
So you put it squarely on the manager.
No, I'm not blaming. Yes, playing. All right, we'll put it this way: his playing style is his own. It does not fit our players. So that was trying to ram round players into a square peg,
okay,
and it doesn't work. Okay. Because we don't have the players to play his style. It doesn't mean he's a bad manager. It just means it wasn't going to work for us and our current players.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment, I think.
Okay, but
especially with once losing Vertonghen, like if we still had Vertonghen and we could rotate Sanchez in and he didn't have to play and Dyer didn't have to play in the back line and we had Toby and Vertonghen beside each other in front of Lloris, that could have worked. Park the bus.
Okay, and if this is last year, right? Or, sorry, a year and a half ago when Jose came in, right? You guys had your shot at a legendary manager, and the club didn't back him. So why would another legendary manager come there when they're not going to be backed?
They're not going to. Everyone just... You guys are only right because everyone looked like if Jose can't win there, then fuck if I can.
We kind of had this conversation a couple weeks ago when there was talk about firing Arteta, and my argument was that if Arsenal and Tottenham were both in a manager hiring position at the same time,
it would be Arsenal. I agree with you.
Arsenal would land the bigger manager.
Absolutely, I agree with you because you're younger and better. Like, well, I wouldn't say better, but your arc is better.
And they've also spent a little bit of money. They haven't spent a ton of money, right? Like Arsenal.
No, I don't think Arsenal's overspent.
No, but they go and get one big player or 1.5 big players.
We had our argument about Pepe, but that's really like your only bad spend recently.
And Pepe's really not a bad spend.
No,
it's because of the dollar amount
he's not very good.
Responsible for that.
Sean,
he's not very good.
Sean, stop this. You're just wrong. You're wrong and you're bitter.
I'm not wrong. He's not very good. Saka is your best signing.
Saka is
and not just because of the value. If you flip flop values, Saka'd still be worth it.
Saka's not a signing.
Oh, is he? Did he come up?
Academy.
He's academy.
Oh well, then whatever. If you sign Saka for that much, then it would still be worth it. If Pepe come up to your academy and you sign Saka for that much, it would be worth it.
Or 60 mil, we'd be like, yeah, that's a good deal. That's a great player. They overpaid.
Yeah, if you pay 15 for Pepe, that's a good signing. That's good value.
I think they overpaid probably like 15 to like.
I think if you pay,
20
I think if Pepe was a £50 million signing, this conversation would not be taking place.
Correct.
For the simple fact that he cost 72 million is the only reason why Pepe gets shit on. By Arsenal fans, by non-Arsenal fans. It's the only reason.
Well,
which is not his fault. That's what the club played for him.
Exactly.
I've complimented Arsenal like 3 or 4 times tonight. You will not get a compliment for Pepe. I have never, ever watched an Arsenal game and thought, wow, Pepe's really great.
One thing we're going to do over the summer is I want you guys to think about what your starting 11 should be. Barring no injuries, what your starting 11 would be on match week 1 of next season. We're gonna have that conversation, and we're gonna see if I pick Pepe.
Mine's probably gonna be August 25th because I don't know who's going to be on my team.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know if we actually talked about the Spurs and Leicester game at all, but we talked about Spurs.
Harry Kane is God. Harry Kane is amazing. He's already a club legend for Chelsea.
That was a great reactionary goal. It came off of somebody deflection. Great pass. And then he reacted to it perfectly. But I wanted to bring up with Bale's 2 goals. So this is Gareth Bale versus Marcus Rashford. 20 appearances versus... All right, so this is Gareth Bale first in all of these.
This season?
20 appearances, yes. 20 appearances, 37 appearances, 11 goals, 11 goals. Gareth Bale versus Sadio Mane. 20 appearances, 35 appearances, 11. Gareth Bale versus Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. 20 appearances, 29 appearances. I guess he had some injuries. 11 goals to 10 goals, 2 assists to 3 assists.
I mean, dude got malaria.
Oh yeah, yes, he had some sickness.
His mom got COVID. He had to go back to Gabon because his mom had COVID.
Gareth Bale versus Raheem Sterling. 20 appearances versus 27, 11-9.
Okay,
so I only played 27 games, but that's impressive.
He only played 20. This is only Premier League. He only played 20 games and got as many goals as Rashford, Mane, more than Aubameyang, more than Sterling.
So you didn't even say Werner. Why didn't you say you could have added Werner? You could have added Havertz.
That's too easy. That's too easy.
So is what's your argument? You gave us this statistic. What do you?
Is that it felt like people were pooping on Bale, and I feel like he's had a pretty good return season.
Well, when the manager comes in and says, "Hey, this is a big game for us. I need you to play," and you're like, "No, I don't think I can start."
I think we were expecting more from Gareth Bale.
Who says no? I can't start.
What do you expect more than over a half a goal a game?
I think that he played well when he got his opportunities. I
would love to know his minutes.
Okay.
His minutes per goal.
I mean, if you think that he was good value this season, then who am I?
I think he was good value.
I can't tell you
honestly
not. I was expecting more from Gareth Bale this season.
I was too.
Okay.
But I will take what I got.
I mean clearly.
But 11 goals and 20 appearances is pretty flipping good.
I don't disagree.
I think most of us. I mean, you would have taken. You had 27 appearances out of Aubameyang, or 25, I believe. I think you would have taken more than 9 goals.
Oba had a terrible season. This was his worst professional season.
Yeah. It wasn't poop on Diaz. I'm not pooping on Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Like, I know he had off the field stuff. I'm pretty sure there were some injuries in there.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't want to crap on him. Like, that's not easy to deal with. But
you're using it as a tool to elucidate a point that he wasn't as bad as everyone. It's kind of like when everyone talks about Pepe being terrible, and I use statistics to show you that he's not actually terrible. Okay.
Coming back around.
Arsenal beat Brighton 2-0. Sean, do you know who's before you leave? Sean, do you know who scored for Arsenal?
I saw it. It was Pepe.
Yeah, twice, 2 goals.
2 goals.
So I don't. Now that he's gone, Brad, we can defend Pepe. No, like the Arsenal game didn't matter that much. We did what we were supposed to do. We won, but we needed other results to go our way to finish 6th or 7th. I told if we run back the tape 2 weeks ago and we talked about who would finish 3 through 7th or 3 through 8th. Yep. I picked Arsenal to finish 8th. And I thought Tottenham would finish 7th. So we just dug ourselves too big of a hole early in the season. That 10-game stretch where we picked up 4 points killed our season. If in that 10-game stretch we pick up 10 points, we get 6 more points, the table's completely different. If
the Champions League.
Exactly.
Or close to Champions League.
Like we're in the fight. So there were that one stretch was horrendous, and that was the only reason why our season was as bad as it was. We made it to a European semifinal. I don't know. I'll have more thoughts about the overall Arsenal season next week. The other games, whatever, they happened. Quickly, do you have any comment about next weekend, Brad? Because so City slapped Everton. You guys are on like a 3 or 4 week stretch where you can't score goals. So like, are you concerned about the final next weekend?
This is what Chelsea Football Club does. This is what being a fan of Chelsea Football Club is like. You are always stressed, and especially this year, where are the goals coming from? I think our team is uniquely built to play very, very well against City.
I mean, you have multiple times this year.
Right, we've won twice in the past month against City. I think that's a pretty big confidence boost. To win 3 in a row against any team in any sport is difficult. But I think we are uniquely built to take the game to City and not be afraid of them, like some teams play against City. And I think having Werner and or Pulisic both on the field pushes City out of their normal game plans. Like last time we played them, Pep matched Tuchel's formation because of our pressure on the last time, right? And the way how Werner plays with his extra high, you can't have a high line against Werner because he's getting behind you. It's usually offsides, but he's getting behind you. I think he's put the ball in the net 27 times this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
27 times and only 12 goals is counted.
That's
right. It's not that he can't score; he can't stay on sides.
That's really, really bad.
I think he just has to get his timing down because he has the speed and quickness. It's just like
the dude is a professional football player.
I know, but coming from Germany to England plays a much higher line than Germany typically does.
Offside is the same rule regardless of the league you play in.
But
I was going to say
German
that.
defensive line is usually further back, so he's got to get more comfortable starting closer to the halfway line. That's what I'm saying.
I would imagine that he is in Germany. He was playing on the back line anyway.
Correct, but it was further back, so like he's used to playing a little bit further back. Either way, I'm just saying, like,
I don't think that's
it's not his problem getting the ball in the net. It's him getting the ball in the net and not be offsides.
Yeah,
I can't wait. If he scores in the Champions League, I need him to run over to the VAR screen and just stand there staring at it. Just waiting just to make sure that it's a goal.
Well, you forget that in the Champions League, their production value is booty cheeks compared to the Premier League when it comes to VAR. So,
right, but I'm saying like he just needs to run over there because then the celebration will show the screen and we'll know what it is.
Okay, I got it now. I understand.
Yeah. Yes, it's not for the referee to go check it out. It's for him to go stand there and be like, "You're gonna take this one from me too."
I'm pretty sure it won't be showing on the screen until they pipe it in for the referee to see. But there's also another final coming up: United versus Villarreal.
I don't know. The only reason I would watch it is because I did pick Villarreal, which I guess we could talk about next week.
Yeah, we thought this was gonna. We came
into integrity.
We came into this podcast tonight thinking this was a 30-minute episode, and here we are over an hour again.
Me and Tamzid also picked Villarreal.
So maybe
go for it.
We'll see what happens.
Unai.
I wanted to ask something since we got really passionate about it, and by we I mean I. If Ronaldo leaves, is Juventus, since it's relevant to one of our listeners, is Juventus a better job than Tottenham?
Yes.
Is that a serious question?
100%.
Yes, it is. we have made a Champions League final more recently than them.
10 in a row before this year. Before Don Conte got there. 10 in a row. They won the league 10 times in a row. No. Sean.
No way.
Sean.
They're not good. Other than Weston McKennie, that is not a good soccer team.
Sean.
That is not a good team.
Oh my gosh, guys! If you guys are still listening, please stay. I promise you.
I'm gonna die on this hill. Tottenham is a good job.
Oh man, that was legitimately funny. Thank you for that joke, Sean.
That's not. No, I'm not kidding. I don't think Juventus is a good. I don't think that's a. They don't spend money. They just happen to get Ronaldo, and now they win.
What do you mean they happen to get Ronaldo? They spent $100 million to get Ronaldo.
That's the only spend they've ever done. They signed everybody on free transfers.
They do sign a lot of free transfers, but you're crazy if they don't spend money.
And they've had Buffon since 1973. Well, not now, but
Buffon's still better than Hugo Lloris.
No, he's not. Okay, all right. That's too far, sir.
You could make the argument that, like, maybe Napoli might not
We're
be.
a way better job than Napoli.
Napoli's in the Europa League, sir.
We're a way better job than Napoli.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
I'm not backing down from this.
I think you saying Juventus in the same breath as Tottenham is hilarious.
It's incredible.
We are.
No, you're not.
We were literally in the Champions League final 2 years ago. With the same players we have right now. Like, what are you guys talking about?
Hey, Sean, so you said you guys are the 15th most prestigious list.
We're in the top 15.
Okay.
I'm not going to rank them. But in top 15,
so,
top 15,
so this
top 15, top
this
20.
wasn't like a Forbes list or something. This was just
No.
This was a Sean Brand list.
In the top 15, yeah.
Where's Juventus?
They're in there also.
Okay, so they're in the top 15.
They're just below.
They're just below Tottenham. Okay, all right.
If they're not top
When they lose Ronaldo this year because he's not staying, Juventus are going to be poop. He was the only thing keeping them afloat this year, and they barely made Champions League.
So you do
With the
realize
best player in the world.
If you take away Barcelona and Real Madrid, like Juventus is the most well-known team, right?
Bayern Munich, possibly Manchester United, Liverpool,
Bayern, United, Liverpool, yeah.
Juventus.
I would say Juventus is probably second out of Italy too.
Dude,
AC Milan.
This is your worst take ever.
What?
This is Sean's worst podcast of all time.
No,
Sean.
Sean, you are falling apart. Like, I know St. Cunningham, they didn't happen on the field, but it's happening on this podcast.
Sean,
no, it's not.
You rank for me the Italian football clubs.
In terms of what?
However you want.
I have never walked around.
Who do you have above Juventus?
In terms of prestige?
No,
you said they were the second best Italian football. Who's above?
Oh no. Well, that's not what I was saying.
Okay.
I was just talking in terms of like you guys said he was talking about global prestige, and like he said if you remove Madrid and Barcelona, and then you threw in Bayern, and then we threw in United and Liverpool.
So you're throwing Tottenham.
And I said they're not even the most prestigious. As far as like world recognizable club,
who's a bigger
AC Milan? You see their jerseys everywhere.
I think that you have a bias of just like your frame of reference.
Maybe.
Bro, this is an incredibly bad take for you.
Yes. Terrible.
Juventus have by far the most Serie A titles. They are like leaps and bounds higher than everyone else. Like we're talking like Bayern Munich level dominance in Italy. They won 9 straight Serie A titles. 9 straight Serie A titles. It wasn't just Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo leaves, and they might be a better team next year than they were this year.
No, they are not.
They've won 70 trophies.
Yeah, this is just an incredibly bad take.
9 European titles. How many does Tottenham have?
None.
No.
Okay.
So you guys have 1 or 2.
Guys.
No, I don't think we have any European titles.
Will, I apologize for the blasphemy you just listened to.
Tottenham is equal or better.
You have European Cup, Winners' Cup, and 2 UEFA Cups. So you have 3. You have a third.
And we have more money to spend. We just don't spend it.
Sean, just stop talking.
Please.
Don't talk, bro. Like, just let it go, man.
I'm dying on this hill.
All right, Sean, you have homework this week. Your homework is to respond to Will's comment. Like you have to actually log on and look at the comments and respond to his comment because he's going to light you the fuck up.
It's going to happen.
All right. Well, to the listeners that don't know, I don't normally read the comments until we talk about it before the show.
Man, I'm gonna see if I can. I need to clip this last like 15 minutes and just like send it to Juventus Twitter. Bro, man, do we just need to send you the Chiellini gif over and over and over and over and over
Yeah,
and over
I'm
and
gonna
over and
get
over and over
lit up.
again?
Yeah, I'm gonna get lit
Guys.
up with the Chiellini.
Please fill our comments with a Kalini gif. I want that. I want like 10 of them just in a row, please.
So we're gonna come back next week. We'll talk about the Champions League. I in theory it should be a shorter episode, but
It never is.
I can't promise you anything, loyal listeners. But that's it. That's it for the Premier League. We won't talk. We want. Well, okay. Yes, Brad, please come in.
I got my sample. I got my question here, and I feel bad for doing this, Sean. But
No, I don't feel bad at all that you're doing this anymore.
How many players have left and won a trophy? Carrion Trippier is the last one.
He means
is the most recent one.
Specifically, how many ex-Tottenham players
How many ex-Tottenham players have left the club
and won a
and gone
trophy?
on to win a trophy?
I think it's since Tottenham last won a trophy, right?
Correct.
I'd guess it's probably about 12.
How many players? Not years, but players.
Oh, 12. Yeah, I'm guessing 12. 12 players.
12 players in 13 years have left Tottenham and went on to win a trophy.
Or how many trophies have the players won, or how many players?
How many
That's
players have
the next.
left to
Yeah,
win a-
then I'm sticking with my number.
88 players have left to win a trophy. But
88.
Tottenham is the most prestigious job on the market right now.
I did
guys.
not say that. I just said they are one of the top 15 jobs in the world.
All right. What's the? Do you have the next stat, Brad? I sent it to you. It's like how many trophies have been won by ex Tottenham players since Tottenham last won a trophy?
Any guesses there? If 88 players,
It's got to be at
Have
least
that
88 trophies.
Then that's probably in the 150 range.
111, right?
119.
Oh,
Unless Vertonghen won his cup, then it's 120. So we got to look that up. So it's either 119 or 120.
all right, boys. That's it. We're not talking about the Premier League again. And
Prestigious club, boys.
we'll talk about the Premier League a little bit. We're gonna have emotional reaction to the to our seasons next week. But thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. I got us out. Hold on. That's Brad at KSBradG. Down below me is at Whiteheart_Sean. I'm at James Tiffany. We are collectively at Redcard_Radio. Like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, share with anyone who's ever watched an Italian football game. Please, Brad's putting his fingers up for five-star review on Apple Podcasts, please. Or if you don't like us, give us honest feedback. But tell us what you hate about us. Like, be like, man, that James guy's hair sucks or something. Tell us what you don't like about us.
Did you cut it if they did say that?
I'm thinking about cutting it.
Yeah,
But
it's hot.
I'm always thinking about cutting my hair. All right, guys, that's all we got. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next time.